It's the Memphis Sports Network, WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, WMFS FM and HD1 Bartlett, WMFS Memphis, ESPN 790 AM and 92.9 FM ESPN.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time. Take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this April the 8th. And yes, I am not turkey hunting still. I am still down in my back. I've had 5 PT sessions, and but I'm leaving tomorrow to head to Gaston's to trout fish. Trout fish. And so
I'm ready.
I've got my pills ready and everything else, so I'm ready to go take it over there. So but we're talking crappie fishing on today's show. Boy, I have had fun. I forgot all about my pain and everything else. You talk fishing, you just think of it. Everything else is gone. It just.
I just can't wait to go.
It's like frying chicken. It just something about it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good. Frying chicken.
You know what?
Yeah.
We've gone an hour.
Have we gone an hour already?
An hour without.
I beat Wong.
You did?
Whoa!
I beat Wong.
You sure did. You talk food before
I was
Wong
trying
did.
to stay away from that.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let's talk to this next guy, and he's a legend in the crappie fishing. A lot of you folks know not only crappie fishing, but waterfowl hunting. We might even hit him up on how it went in the past season. But we've had Sam Heaton on talking about it. We've had Matt Morgan about the new American Crappie Trail. We just talked to Tim Huffman, who gave us his vision of the 50 top lakes for crappie fishing. We might ask this young man to see what he thinks about that. But privileged to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray, Ronnie Capps. Good morning, Ronnie.
How you doing, Larry?
I am doing great. And the last time I saw Ronnie and his wife was at the Bass Pro Pyramid doing seminars. And I can just imagine 10 years ago, did you ever think in your life, Ronnie, that you'd be at the Bass Pro at the Pyramid doing seminars for crappie fishing?
Yeah, boy, we've come a long ways from a little John boat and a real foot lake boat and cane poles. We sure have, Larry.
You really have. And talk about that, Ronnie, the evolution of your career and also the advancement in crappie fishing since you started.
Well, Larry, I grew up at Reelfoot, and it was kind of a way of life there, hunting and fishing, without a doubt. So I was fortunate enough to have my grandfather spend a lot of time with me there. He was retired out of the Navy, and I thought that was our job every day, shoot squirrels and catch brim and crappie and catfish and you name it. But I grew up right in the middle of all that and wouldn't take nothing for all my life history and the water time that I've have. And, I attribute that water time to where I'm at today. Really, I just the more you go, the more you know, and I'm still learning.
And Ron Wong's got a question. He held his hand. He either needs to leave the room or he's got a question. Okay.
I got slapped down earlier for interrupting.
No, I didn't.
So I'm trying to be nice
Good.
now.
You're doing good. What question you got for
Hey,
Ronnie?
Ronnie, you know, last week had the opportunity to sit in your boat with you and Steve crappie fishing on Darbone, and what impressed me the most about what's happening with crappie fishing today
Was his boat.
was studying the 360 imaging
Yeah.
and catching crappie. Talk to us about that big change in crappie fishing.
Yeah, gosh, Ron, it's just one little thing. It's right at our fingertips that we have today that we didn't have way back when. And actually 20 years ago, we were lucky to see the bottom with a flasher nearly. And so today we're counting the number of fish on one of these big cypress logs out here at Reelfoot, and
Amazing.
and 20 minutes later you can count the male fish laying in the ice chest there if you after dinner. So I done just exactly that 2 days ago. It took me 40 minutes to leave my house, unload, and go catch 12 crappie. All of them were males that I wanted for dinner, and I caught just enough to feed us. And
Oh, man.
I counted. I got 2 photos. I got one photo of the fish on a log. I got another photo when they were gone, and another photo with them in my ice cooler. So it's crazy. My grandfather would roll over in his grave, if he knew what we were looking at today on this big screen and technology-wise. It's just unbelievable.
Well, that aluminum boat that you probably started out with, like everybody else, and you had
Skull and paddle.
Pardon?
Skull and
the
paddle.
scullet. My uncle, who taught me to fish, bless his heart, he tried, but he was the world champion sculler, and that's a word I hadn't even heard. You have just opened new eyes to sculling. Is that a lost art?
I've sculled many a
Oh,
mile.
no. That's I grew up doing that, and we actually have a skeleton oar that's made for your arm. You fit your arm down into it. It kind of fits in like a glove, and you can really do a real good job holding a boat in some super shallow water with that versus having a trolling motor prop, hitting limbs and making a lot of noise. And it's the way I love to fish. Really, I go back to that when I get a chance, but I fish out of a Genu. And I use a skull and paddle, and I sit right up front and have a 9-foot rod, and man, I have a ball doing that.
Well, in that way, you don't have to be with Steve all the time.
That's right. That's right.
And tell us,
yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Yeah, Steve. I can't say enough about him. Me and him grew up together. We was 3, 4, 5 years old when we started fishing together right here on the bank of Reelfoot, and he's still fishing with me today. Bless his heart. He's had some misfortune with lost an eye and also lost an arm, basically the good use of an arm. And man, it's really hampered us in the tournament world for sure. It's cost us some places this weekend. But anyway, hey, he's strong and hangs in there, and I'm gonna hang in there with him. We'll have to catch twice as many fish now as we used to, I guess, to win.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that friendship because you guys go back a long way, and I know that he's such a competitor, and you guys started together, and what he's gone through is pretty amazing. My hat's off to you, Ronnie. You just mentioned there, that's true friendship, buddy.
Heck yeah! We're going to compensate for it. It might take us a year or so to get back in the swing of things here, but it's the little things that make a lot of difference when you're playing against some of the best fishermen in the world, crappie fishermen in the world for sure. And on this American Trail, it will be, I think, what we always dreamed of crappie fishing being, and I'm hoping
you really
hoping
are.
that will become reality before I die and get too old to catch them, but. I always hoped that would happen, but yeah, we're hanging in there, and just this weekend, just the slightest little mishap, and we lost one bite that he just didn't have enough arm strength to get it in the net there and knocked it off, and hey, that cost us probably the tournament, one bite, and that's what it all comes down to these days, just one fish sometimes.
Ron, you had your hand up in it.
Ronnie, you guys are still so super competitive.
Yeah,
You're up there right now near the top for the AOY Angler of the Year on the American Crappie Trail. And so that says a lot. I mean, you had I think a 7th place finish at Darbone. You had a very high finish at Grenada.
Yeah.
So things are coming together for you, aren't they?
Yeah, heck, I enjoy the competition just like everybody. I like the format. It's an even playing field. Anybody that's listening today that hasn't jumped in on a competitive level with these crappie tournaments, this is probably the premier one. Keep an eye out on us, because I think you'll be amazed at what's getting ready to happen. I'm just about confident of that. And, if you are competitive, have fished some, you ought to give this one a shot for sure. There's a big one coming to Kentucky Lake in May.
Yeah.
And I expect a huge turnout, a huge show, and Matt Morgan's putting on a first-class act, man, without a doubt. And the 100% payback, man, is unreal. I mean, we're able to pay for expenses. If you finish in the top 10, you should owe more than pay for your week's fishing trip. So I like it because there's not so many. There's only 6 tournaments throughout the year, and you got time to prepare and do work and get ready for it.
Well, everybody that needs a new Ranger boat, go ahead. I mean, this is a pretty good chance to win one if you're out there. And I'm going to say something, Bill Cooksey, you're a Kentucky Lake man. Mm-hmm. If they can get 300 kayaks in a tournament at Kentucky Lake, which blew me away and blew most of them away, the wind did.
That was a tough time for a kayak.
Go to May 19th and 20th at where are they going to be based out of, Ron?
Paris Landing.
Out of Paris Landing.
Landing.
This
Paris
is,
Landing.
and you guys, not only are these guys going to fish, but they'll talk to you.
Absolutely.
And Ronnie, I know that's key for you, isn't it? I mean,
I love to talk about crappie fishing. I'm still learning myself, Larry. I love anybody that's a crappie fisherman is a friend of mine, without a doubt. I learned so much. I've talked to people all over this country with the fortune of traveling through the tournament circuits and stuff, and I know a whole lot about kind of where I stand in the history of crappie fishing, the way we tied rigs, and the way we've done our fishing down here Reelfoot compared to somebody in Texas, say, or on the East Coast. A huge difference out there, but I'm certain that some of the original rigs that were tied here at Reelfoot are the ones that are dominating still today, and they're tied the same way. And B&M's producing them for us, and that rig is a go-to just about. It's tough times fishing those minnow rigs, and I'm amazed at the history of the way things originated just by talking to people. So I love talking crappie.
Well, I tell you what, folks, we're going to throw in a 2-minute warning here before we go off Ronnie Capps. I love to go boyettes, too, okay? I mean, you don't mind me throwing that in there, do you, Ronnie?
Man, boyettes is old place, and been here. My grandmother worked there when she was 13, and she's 90 now. So. Oh, my goodness, really? Yeah. It's just a hunting and fishing place. My mother's just as nice to the fishermen down there, I guess, as I am, for sure, and glad to have you, for sure, Boyette.
Take a weekend, take a Saturday today, just get in your car and drive up to Boyette's and look around Reelfoot, and it's an amazing, I can't tell you how many people have gone to Boyette's and eaten and come back and said, man, that Reelfoot's different than it used to be. I know there's still history up there. Ronnie, thank you, buddy. You tell your grandma, your mom, your wife, the whole clan, I don't know, that may not be a good word. The whole family, okay? Hello from us, and continued success. And needless to say, watch out for Wong on these trips, okay? I mean, he's I spent one day with him, love him to death there. He's a mess. I think he loves doing what he's doing just as much as I love what I do. And so, heck yeah, I'm looking forward to doing another little trip with him soon. And anything I can do for you, Larry, I certainly appreciate it. Appreciate I was
everything, man, to do with crappie. B&M poles, all right.
I was there when you started, it seems like. All right, you were just a young whippersnapper in those days.
I'm guarantee it. Yes, sir. I'm 50 now, so I've been catching them for a pretty while.
Don't tell me now. You can't be 50. That makes me 103. All right.
103.
All right, Ronnie. Take care, buddy. Tell everybody hello, and we'll talk to you later. All right.
Yes, sir. Thanks a million.
Okay, Ronnie Capps. Let's take a break. Come right back. Still talking crappie. And I tell you what, this next guy has caught a few crappie in his life.
He's a legend.
We're going to turn this segment over to Bill Cooksey to talk about South Kentucky Lake on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
You can find out